What's up, guys? Another episode of Wedding Unfiltered coming at you from the block. If you don't know, you better look it up.
Yeah.
Check them out on Instagram, the block 716.
Do it.
We love this place. Our new
Really
home.
do.
We have a very special guest today. We're talking to Kate from Under the Willow events. Kate, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm great.
Who are you?
I'm getting there. I was letting her finish.
Okay. Well, the last couple of weeks have been a little off with
You know
the
what?
intros,
I'm just going to introduce myself, and I'm going to exclude you this time. We have Heather from Upstate Indie Weddings.
Hi, guys.
And Ron from the Buffalo Pod. What's up, guys? Let's talk.
I'm excited. This is a big one. This is the one I don't think a lot of people talk about or think about, but is literally the most important week. Wedding week.
It's high stakes that week, man.
Wedding week. Okay, so we're going to talk with Katie about what you got to do, what you shouldn't do, what you should have prepared, what you should stress about, what you shouldn't stress about, and all the things. But before we get into all those details, why don't you tell us a little bit about, like, what drew you to wedding planning? How did you get in this crazy business?
I feel like I have the same villain origin story as a lot of other wedding planners,
Okay.
which
Yeah.
is I planned my wedding and I fell in
There it
love with
is.
There it is.
I'm telling you,
There
we
it
did the
is.
same across the board.
So we did an entire episode about this and how people plan their own weddings, and they go one of two ways. Either they're like, I hate this,
Mhm.
or I love this so much I want to do it. And for those who love it so much they want to do it, there's this like Darwin effect of like weeding out, I think, after a couple of weddings, if it's a real deal or not.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I will say that it's one of those things that once you start getting into the community and you start meeting other people, it just opens up the door so much of like, these are my friends. I want to work with these people. You almost get to like choose your inner core of coworkers, which what other industry or job do you get to do that?
No.
Nowhere.
No.
So I named it Under the Willow events because I actually got married peak COVID, September of 2020,
Perfect.
in my parents on their back property under the willow tree.
Not
so
stressful at all.
very
Yeah.
easy name for me to pull from.
That's beautiful. I love that. I love that. It's awesome. I love that. Okay, so we're heading into wedding season.
We are
Yeah, you said you have a wedding next week, right?
this week,
This week?
Friday.
Oh
I
my
sure do.
God.
Tonight's rehearsal.
Oh, that. Okay, so let's jump right into it. What do most couples underestimate about the week leading up to the wedding? And like, bonus question, about when in the week does it actually hit them? And does the stress like descend upon everything?
This answer is kind of all tied in because they underestimate the family that will come out of the woodwork with opinions the week of the wedding.
Okay.
And that is so difficult for couples to navigate because I think that everybody just assumes everyone's going to be on their best behavior.
Yeah.
And when the text messages start pouring in
Yes.
with the thoughts and opinions and things like that, it is easy for me to navigate because
Mhm.
I can see it from almost like a bird's eye view
You
where
have-
yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I can see the entire picture.
Mhm.
And so it's easy for me to come in and kind of tell people like, hey,
Yeah.
it's okay. We all are pulling for the same team here.
Yeah.
And so I think that that is something that a lot of couples don't think is going to pop up.
Yeah.
But realistically, the rehearsal is where you really get to meet the cast of characters, which is why I love going to rehearsal.
I love that you phrase it that way.
I know, right?
Every family, and I always ask ahead of time, is there any family dynamic that I should be aware of?
Sure.
Because it's a nice way of asking, like, is there any strong personalities?
What are the archetypes
Or
here
drama.
that
Yeah,
you like
can
are
you
going to
make me a
fill?
flow chart and like
It's
It's-
like the housewives. Like there's just archetypes for everybody,
Mhm.
and like who is the catty one, who's the grudge one, who's this one. Yeah,
I
for
love
sure.
that you said that. So we had a wedding last year, and it's very redneck. Okay.
Great.
Ron's
And
having war flashbacks right now.
Like, so starting to
this is a great story. So I asked the planner, I'm like, okay, we always know there's going to be like one heavy drinker at the party,
Sure.
and we have to figure out, okay, like how do we navigate that situation, right? So they warned me about this woman, and
When you're warned, when like your people have to warn strangers about family.
Yes.
Before
You know that's the
a
one.
so
wedding.
there was two guys at the wedding. There was
Bad.
this woman, and then there was a recovering alcoholic who they said will flat out try to drink his face off
Yeah.
at this wedding. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
point him out. Like
Sure.
we can't tell him no because it's his own decision as a grown
Of course,
man to
you
figure it
can,
out.
like,
But this
control.
woman, they're like, wait till you hear this woman story. You're gonna hear it. I'm like, okay. So we close the bar during dinner, and towards the end of like dinner, she comes up to the bar. And she's like, well, I already ate. Dinner's over. And I was like, no, dinner's not over. Like, we're not there yet.
I'm
Like-
excited.
Like, this DJ was going to make an announcement when the bar was reopening, so
Yeah.
we're going to be okay. Went on and on with me forever.
Oh my gosh.
And next thing I know, she starts telling me about how she slept with this man at the wedding, this man at the wedding, this man at the wedding.
Airing her own business out?
Airing her own, but then including, like, other women that were at this wedding that also slept with these men.
What are you making, rosters?
And I was
for
like,
at the bar?
I jokingly said to her, I'm like, can you draw this out for me?
She gave the cocktail
Yeah,
napkin.
like, okay.
She's
Like,
going to
actually,
town.
yes,
So
I
I'm like,
can.
oh
Hold
my
on.
God, like, you're really going to air this out right now? And then, like,
Wow.
one of the women came up to the bar.
Uh-huh.
So, like, I could have used that flow chart.
Dang.
Yeah, it was absolutely out of control. That was, like, one of the craziest things I've ever...
It's so
God.
weird
That
when
was
you
at a
know
wedding.
something about someone that they don't know you know before you even formally
Yeah.
meet them. That woman walked
then,
up to
like,
the bar, you're like, I know.
Even the
about
guys,
you.
even the guys were walking up to the bar, and she's kind of, like, doing this. And I'm like, okay.
Oh, boy.
So flow
Wow.
charts. Get those flow charts.
Yeah, prep those when you're doing your scene charts. Just make a flow
Just
chart
like-
of all the
like,
characters.
Put them all at the
Make
same
a little
table.
star.
And make a-
Ooh,
Scotland.
that's the table you want your content creator
You do.
to be at, like, all the time, right? That's
Yeah.
some good juicy stuff.
Just
right
set
there.
up a camera at that
Yeah.
table, honestly.
Oh my God, I love it. Okay,
Wow,
so
we went deep there.
Yeah.
Okay, bring it back.
wow. Okay, so walk us through what a typical wedding week looks like from your perspective, and like overarching, like take the couple out of it, but what kind of should happen? Because I think couples, they get into this last week and they get like all stressed out about like every little minutia detail, but some things matter and some things don't. So can you
That's
tell
so
us
true.
from the experience point of view, what actually should be happening this last week?
Confirm all of your important details,
Okay.
vendors, the arrival times. I just, from my end of things, always send out an email, usually about a week out. And number one, I want all the vendors to know that I exist. There has been
Yeah.
times where the bride is like, not a double agent, but she's working with me and she's working with her vendor team.
Yeah.
And she sometimes forgets to weave us all together.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, yeah.
that is something that I always make sure. I said I need everybody's email addresses so
Yeah.
that I can send out that big email to say, hey, this is who I am. I'm going to be your point of contact for at least the day of.
Mhm.
So if you're running late, don't bug my bride. Don't
Yeah.
be buzzing her phone or
Yeah.
texting her and saying, hey,
Smart.
I'm 15 minutes late. Call me.
Yeah.
Text me. I will be your point of contact. And so really, it's just tying up all of the loose ends. It's answering any questions that pop up. It's just a lot of confirmation
Mhm.
and touching base with all of the important vendors that are going to be there and making sure that they know their role and what they're supposed to be doing and where they're supposed to be going.
And when, and all those
I
little
love
logistical
when
details.
there's a planner involved in the wedding. You guys make my life so
The
much
other
easier.
He says
vendors,
it all the
moms and
time.
siblings
I-
love us.
I
Yeah.
do. I can't stand when I ask the bride, like, who's the contact, and they say themselves, and I'm like,
Uh-uh.
I'm gonna figure this out myself.
Yeah.
Instead of calling
You're actually
you.
the last person I'm going to
Yeah,
talk to.
Yeah. Right?
Like I will find a little child running around the wedding and ask them before I call you.
God.
Mhm.
What are the most common like last minute fires you see pop up?
Transportation.
Transportation.
Make sure that
Really?
you have your transportation
That's true.
on lock and you have confirmed your times that they're going to be there. Don't leave that
Yeah,
to just blow in the wind.
and just like
that's-
hope for the best.
Yeah.
I got married 157 years ago, and that is the one thing that I wish that I had done better. And I had most of it like organized and coordinated, but going like at the end of the night, my wedding party at the venue, to get them back to where they needed to be, I was like, where is there how are we getting back actually? Because the
Actually,
limo
I
dropped
hadn't
us
thought
off,
about
and
this.
then that was the end of it. How did we
Well,
think we
sometimes
were
they do it
getting
where they only
anywhere?
have transportation for the beginning
Yeah.
of the day to get them to and from either
How does that
ceremony to
happen?
reception.
I don't know. I was 20.
Like, doesn't the limo company say to you, like,
Do you
You
want
need to
undernight
ride
drop
back?
off?
No one said anything to me at all. And I also, okay, in my own defense, I was planning this wedding from Columbus, Ohio. So, like, I had a
yeah, no,
lot
I'm
going
not saying
on
you
here.
specifically. I'm just saying.
I'm feeling
in
very
general.
defensive. No, I'm kidding. I feel very detached. No, I'm kidding.
Wow.
But, like, I just very clearly remember standing outside of the Buffalo Western Museum in my
Mhm.
dress, waiting for the hotel shuttle, who, like, kindly was, like, running people back and forth. And I'm like, I'm still here, guys. I'll get there eventually.
Especially if you don't have a hired service.
Yeah.
If you are just trying to organize amongst your friends and family and
Ooh,
just like
it was rough.
assume that, oh, this person, like sometimes they're not good to drive at the end of the night. Maybe
Yeah.
they're going to tell you, of course, everybody's the biggest helper the week of the wedding or leading up to the wedding. They mean well.
Yeah.
They want to be helpful.
Yeah.
But what is planned and what actually executes is sometimes very different.
Yeah. So I think I know the answer to this question already, but like the anxiety and the emotions and the craziness of wedding week, like how do you as a wedding planner handle that when it comes to like family and unexpected meltdowns and like the drama that can kind of come with all of the stress of the last week?
It does help that I ask ahead of time to know who the potential stressors might be, so I can kind of handle them with kid gloves a little bit leading up to it, and sometimes even put those fires out before they start. Otherwise, I just remind everybody, like, this isn't your day. This is their day. And sometimes you do kind of have to almost be like a bouncer. I wear many hats on wedding day and leading up to wedding day. But I think ultimately, once you pull people's focus back to this is about them, they're not going to get this chance again. Like, this is our shot to make this super special for them. Don't take that from them. And a lot of times people are like, you're right. You know what? Like, I can put this aside. Some of this family drama has been brewing for 20 years. Like, today's not the day. Not on my watch.
It can brew for 20 and one.
Yes.
20 years in a day. Like, let's deal with it another time. I love that.
Handle it at brunch tomorrow.
Yeah, you'll be fine. When I'm clocked out, you can like start screaming at each other. It's totally fine. What, in your opinion, what is a solid like day of timeline look like? / when should that actually be decided? It's gonna be different every single time, but like when should that really be locked in?
ASAP.
Okay.
As soon as you know all of your like hair, makeup schedule and all of that stuff, that is essentially like the bulk of the day. It raises the vibes. Everybody knows that morning time, getting ready, everybody being together, the music playing, sometimes the drinks and all that kind of stuff. Like, that sets the tone for the day. And so you want to make sure that we are not rushing that portion. If you have to wake up a little bit early or you have to organize
Sorry, Sarah,
things,
get up.
Sarah, clock in. Let's
I know
do
you
this.
had 17 mimosas last night, but let's get it going.
But as long as that portion of the day is running smoothly and everything's going well, the rest of the day just falls into place because we have a game plan. We have the timeline already set. It's just a matter of ticking along and making sure that certain things aren't running over. And, you know, maybe some people that don't have planners might not understand how long certain activities take. Getting yourself in your dress, having your first look if you're going to do one, all of those types of things. I am just like a buffer girly. I am building the little maybe 10, 15 minute buffers because most of the time you end up using them for one thing or another. Or you have a couple minutes of like chill downtime and be able to soak in and live in the moment on the day as opposed to feeling like, and this is the analogy that I use, feeling like a pawn that's just being moved around from activity to activity and not feeling like you're living the day that you've been spending so much time and money planning.
That's
what part of the day do you feel like is the one thing that will almost always fall behind? It's the hair and makeup.
What's the time suck?
I don't want to point fingers, but
it sounds like you do. I mean, I'm going to be real here.
But I will say that I feel like the hair and makeup passed the baton on to me, and then I am very type A. Sorry.
As a planner to the point, let's be clear.
Type B planners are a different animal. Those people are just, they're unicorns.
I mean, and good for them, but
right, not my vibe. But I think once that baton gets passed from hair and makeup, I'm able to do a lot more like checking in. I'm overseeing a lot of stuff on the day of. I always want to make sure that I have a very specific list of like, what do you want your reception space to look like? And where do you want these specific items to be placed? And what do you want it to look like? I have all of that information ahead of time so that I can, in the in-between moments, be going and checking on that stuff and making sure it's perfect for them. You pop in, you see how everything's going, ask if they need anything, snip a couple of those annoying tags underneath the dress.
Always. I went to we had a networking event and I walked around that entire thing and about 15 minutes before it ended, I realized that the new t-shirt that I was wearing definitely had the tag hanging out of it the entire time. So like,
friends, nobody
this
told
is why
you.
I needed you there to be like, hey girl, let's help you out.
I probably would have been wearing my fanny pack. I wear every single event so I could take out my scissors, my lighter for
nice
candles.
Emergency kit. I love that. I will say in defense of the beauty team, because we did have some hair and makeup here, and they did say, because we basically said the same thing.
They blame the planner. No, I'm just kidding.
You're kind of usually kind of blamed for the timeline. How do you feel about that? And they did bring up a really good point. They're like, wow, we have several people who oftentimes it's their first time getting their hair and makeup done.
Right.
Sometimes it ain't washed. It's not dry. They're coming in late, or they're and they're not like sitting down, or like they don't even know what they want, or like sometimes things just get like a little jumbly. So
valid point.
Let's just make sure, as the people getting our hair and makeup done, that we come in prepared to make sure everything is
Hair and
good.
makeup people usually send out some sort of a message or announcement ahead of time saying washed hair, dry, clean, this, that. So it's on our bridesmaids to be prepped properly.
They don't want to be blamed when they come to this podcast.
No.
They're like, how come you're delaying the timeline, guys?
But sometimes it's also, I hate to say this out loud, but sometimes it's also family. Like when you're trying to get everybody lined up. Like I will say this is probably terrible to say out loud. The most stressful part of the day for me.
You're unfiltered. You're fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will like ceremony right before you start sending people down, because you are communicating with the DJ or whomever is taking care of the music.
Yeah.
You are making sure that the sight lines are clear so that when I'm cueing you, you can see me, I can see you. We're making sure that the cast of characters is all in line.
Yeah.
And they're jazzed up. They sometimes have had
They're
a couple
hyped.
Beverages or road pops on the way there. Like they are ready to go, and I love that energy.
Well
but
caffeinated.
let's just focus for 1 second. Let's all rally, and then we can get, and then we party. You know what I mean?
You got to use your teacher
Get your
voice.
photos, and then we're good.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah, my kindergarten teacher voice.
Your teacher voice, yeah.
I was never a kindergarten teacher.
No, it's fine. It's fine. But we all have it in us a little bit. Let's talk about rehearsal and rehearsal dinner. How do you keep that on track without it becoming like a whole second version of a full wedding? Like, is there some tactics you have there?
Every detail, and I did this. I talked to my bride. We're doing rehearsal today, yesterday, because the changes can happen so close up until rehearsal or the ceremony. Sometimes it's during the ceremony rehearsal that they make a decision, and now we're changing things a little bit. Like maybe they originally didn't want the entire wedding party to be standing up there. They wanted them seated, and now we're standing there, we're looking at everything, and we want everybody up there together. So those little things, like give yourself grace to make those decisions as you're flowing through the process. If you've never been married before, you don't know what you don't know. And so that's why I'm here, and I help you guys kind of navigate that minefield of those decisions. But I think that having a really hard confirmed points of data before you go into rehearsal, and knowing these are the bride's wishes, this is what the couple wants. And so when those personalities start chiming in, I can always just default to, hey, I've discussed this in detail with the couple. This is what we want. And there's no trump card for that.
Is it usually, this might be a difficult question, I guess I'm sure it's all over the board, but is it usually the couple, or is it usually the family / friends that are more vocal at the rehearsal about changing things? I do this because I feel like they're camps.
The couple feeds off the energy of the family. So sometimes it's not the family directly coming up to me. Sometimes they're talking or like eyeballing and like making suggestions.
Got it.
Almost like behind the scenes. And then the couple will come up to me and something that they were very sure of, they are not so sure of anymore. And so I have asked, is that a you decision, or did somebody
I like that.
Did somebody inspire you?
There's some sauce in that one.
She's spicy. I love that.
Well,
I love
because
that.
if they're like, oh, well, this
Yes.
person, listen, we talked about this. This isn't what you want. As long, but realistically, at the end of the day, if you decide to change your mind and it's coming from the heart, I will always honor those requests.
Of course.
I want what you want.
Yeah.
I'm just here to make sure it happens.
Yeah. You're the advocate.
I appreciate that you're questioning. Like,
Yeah.
call me out. You know, like,
Because you get one shot, you know, in most cases, and like, do you really want to be like kind of bending over for?
We didn't even do a rehearsal when we got married, so that was a lot of fun.
You full on winged it.
We winged it. Thank God. So I wedding DJ'd before I got married, so like I was in the industry a little bit, but my DJ was the guy I worked for, so like he kind of guided us a little bit. Our photographer took the reins and was like, do this.
Well, photographers love us because otherwise it's them.
Yeah. And they were amazing. Like I can't even speak highly enough of them to like take the reins on that, because we were kind of dumb. Like if you're not doing a rehearsal, you're kind of like you're taking a big leap.
You said it.
You're taking a big
but
leap.
I
I
didn't.
mean, we had no idea. And even
Yeah.
like our announcements and stuff, if it wasn't for the DJ, there would have been no timeline.
You don't know what you don't know.
And unfortunately, this is the one negative that I will say about where I got married. Because
Okay.
I toot their horn
You
every
do.
chance I get.
You're a big fan.
They had one lead for 5 different weddings. So she was literally running from building
That's
to
a lot.
building, and she got caught up. And like
That's a lot of steps.
I can't even fault her
Yeah.
because that's a lot to. And being in the service industry, I was like, "Girl, you're all right. You're good. I get it.
It's
I get
good,
it."
you're
So
Do you need anything?
yeah, I'll take this jacket off.
Want water or something? You're right.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that's wild. Okay, so if a couple doesn't have a planner because they can't afford it or it's just not in the budget, whatever, what are the most important things you would tell them to remember to survive their wedding week? And like, what would you tell them just don't even worry about?
This is hilarious that we're talking about this because I'm actually in the process of creating something called the Maid of Honor's Handbook.
Ooh.
And it's going to be something that
Hot news?
yeah,
It's hot news
nobody
right
else knows about this, so I guess this
Hello,
is a
hello.
hot take. I'm creating something that I can have as just a very reasonable price point that anybody, any bride, maybe you gift it to your maid of honor when you
Yeah.
ask her to be your maid of honor.
I love that.
If you know you're not going to be able to afford a planner, because while as much as I do feel planners are a necessity, I also understand that it's a luxury service.
Mhm.
Like it is something that not everybody can do.
Yeah.
But I don't want, just because you can't hire me doesn't mean I don't want you to still not have the best day ever.
Yeah.
And so I'm creating something that I can put out there and say, if you don't have a planner on your day,
Yeah.
you at least have these important reference points that you can know that your maid of honor, or, you know, give it to your mom, give it to whomever,
Yeah.
that they can help you run through the most important parts of the day and know that as long as these details are on lock, you're going to have a smooth day.
You should be good.
Yeah, you should be good.
When can we expect this?
And then I'm going to give myself a little grace with the
Yeah,
timeline.
please
So
do, 'cause
maybe
you are about to head into wedding season.
I'm going to say it will probably be a fall drop.
Okay.
I'm going to be working on it. I've already been working on it,
Yeah.
which is why I'm comfortable talking about it.
I'm so excited for this.
But I think it's a really cool product that I don't see anybody else offering.
Yeah.
And I'm certainly not trying to say, hey, wedding planners, we're not needed. Like, just buy this guide.
Of course.
But it's something that will make people who just are not able to afford a wedding planner still have something that they can hold on to and be like, okay, I feel like I'm in control. Which is why even at wedding shows, I give out a checklist. And it is 12 months, 9 months, 6 months, 4 months, like everything, even post-wedding. When should you be sending out your thank you notes? Don't forget to
hot topic.
write your reviews for your vendor team, like all of that stuff. And I always just give that information out there because it makes everybody feel more in control.
Could we highlight the reviews for wedding vendors on there?
Yeah, right. in my
'Cause, like,
follow-up
how
message,
important-
I
I
do
hate-
make mention of that.
I hate begging for reviews,
I
but I
know,
feel like I've gotten to the
everybody
point
does.
now where it's like you have to ask or nobody does it.
It's like paying it forward to your future,
Right.
like couples, you know, who are in your spot. Like, what do you wish you knew about vendors, you know, and it's just helping people, because ultimately that's what a lot of people are basing their decisions on, right? Is the reviews of former couples. So be part of that giving community and make sure you're reviewing your couples.
They matter so much to
Yeah.
us. Really.
Do you want to get into some spicy stuff?
Sure, let's
I
do
literally
it.
listed the spicy stuff.
Ooh.
Okay. Have you ever had to talk a couple out of a major decision, like a venue swap, calling it off,
A venue
uninviting people? Like, have you ever
Good God.
It's
A venue swap.
maybe you've had experience with a venue
Wow.
and it's not a good fit for this couple. It's not
Okay,
the
I didn't look at
venue's
it that way.
bad.
I get,
My
okay.
God, I'm not like
I was,
trashing
I was thinking like 2 months out, they're like, oh my God, we're changing venues.
No, but the planner is traditionally one of the first people that's like on the scene, right? So if you're getting to know with this couple, because they've done their wedding worksheet, if you're getting to know what they want, right?
Plug.
And they're like booking or trying to book a venue that is just like the antithesis of what it is, right? Like, have you ever had to be like, I don't think that's a good idea?
I am very fortunate because I haven't had to do too much with making recommendations against certain things.
Yeah.
I will say that there have been points where couples have been teetering on invite stuff.
Okay.
And I'm like, would you have them over to your house for dinner?
Sure.
Would you miss them if they weren't there?
Yeah,
like,
that's
would
good.
you even realize that they weren't there if they didn't show up? Like,
Yeah.
it seems kind of cold and like stale to say, but realistically, I've heard other people say it and it resonates. If you wouldn't have them over to your house for dinner, maybe they're not on the A list.
Yeah.
And I have heard other people saying that it's pretty common now having like an A list and a B list.
Yeah.
Which, understandable.
We did it based on, if I haven't talked to you in a year,
Yeah.
Right.
like, you're out.
Sure.
Mhm.
I mean, that makes sense.
Well, weddings are expensive, and it's really like, do you want to be giving away +1s to people that you don't even know?
Well,
And it's facts, not feelings, right?
Yeah.
What are the facts versus what are the feelings? So the
Mhm.
feelings can try to like make the facts feel different, but I think
Mhm.
it is good when you have like a third party being like, no, be honest.
Mhm.
What is this?
Yes.
we were very close to having a 300-person wedding because I worked in the bars. I worked on Chippewa,
Yeah.
and everyone was my friend.
Yes.
Really, they were just
Of
drinking
course.
buddies,
Mhm.
right? Like,
Yeah.
and that list just was so long, and I was like, no,
Yeah.
this can't
Cut him at the
happen.
knees. Cut him at the knees.
But I will say that it is, I call it the gateway invite. Once you invite like a specific cousin or a specific person in
Oh,
the
God, you open
family,
that door.
you open up the door to
It's
all
like
of these other
rings,
people.
Yeah.
right? Yeah, it's crazy.
And so
Absolutely
it's my
crazy.
job to understand your vision. If you want a small intimate, we're not sending out those second and third string
Mhm.
invites. We're going to keep it small and intimate because guess what? The experience that those fewer people are going to have
Yeah.
is going to be elevated
Absolutely.
compared to, let's get everybody here and then, give them a decent time.
You get a Diet Coke
It's also
and a
less,
rubber chicken.
It's also less people to walk around to. And
Yeah.
say hello to.
Valid.
That is
valid.
true. Okay. What's the weirdest request you've ever gotten during a wedding week that you just like had to buckle in and figure out? Or have you just been blessed with these like amazing brides? I mean, it seems like you run a tight ship over there, Katie, but like, no,
I don't have any crazy,
nothing wild.
nothing wild that I have experienced that I've had to like put my foot down about.
Okay, that's
I
fair.
feel like the prep work is a lot of it.
Yeah.
You set the expectation. I have a lot of like very nitty gritty, detail oriented notes leading up to.
Mhm.
So like by the time wedding week rolls around, we've talked about everything that we need to talk about.
Yeah.
If there's anything crazy, although I will say, I did have an experience at a wedding, and it wasn't leading up to it. It was on wedding day where there was some jealousy issues within the family.
Ooh.
Ooh.
On the ladies' side, and we had a elderly woman fall down.
Oh, no.
Whether it was an accident or on purpose, I don't know.
Sure.
And she broke her leg, and so we had to it was almost like a split in the day because
Yeah.
it was like, this is everything going smoothly. We had this
Pre-bake,
situation
Post break.
kind of
Yeah.
happen where we had to have EMS come in and
Oh my
take care of
gosh.
everything. And I mean, my first thing is like, she's unfortunately laying there like in a dress with her legs open.
Oh my
So
gosh.
I go get a tablecloth and I'm like, girl,
Oh my
I
gosh.
got you. Like, let's just cover you up and make sure.
Yeah.
But really, when you
Yeah.
think about how many different people are in a room, we had doctors, we had nurses,
Oh my
we had
gosh.
EMS personnel that were attending the wedding.
Oh,
So
nice.
everybody was like, somebody went out to their car and got their bag, like their medic bag. And they came in and they were able to help assess.
Yeah.
Somebody else was on the phone, getting EMS there. So it was really, it's one of those things that like, you can't plan for something crazy like
Yeah.
that to happen, but it's how you handle it and how you recover from it that determines the entire trajectory of the day.
Yeah. 100%.
So it wasn't really like
That's
a leading
wild.
up to, but it was kind of like a crazy in the moment
That's
situation.
wild. I mean, it is kind of crazy, like how many people are on that dance floor, drinks in hand,
Mm.
slippy. I went to a wedding in Jamaica, and I just remember we were outside, and they had a dance floor, and we had been drinking I mean, it was just wild,
An ice skating
and
rink.
the amount of like just gymnastics that were happening all over the dance floor, and slipping and splits and everything else, like how no one broke something
Right?
or was concussed or
Mhm.
anything. Is
I always
wild.
kind of wonder, like, how many people go home and like find a bruise the next day.
Oh, at bare
yeah.
minimum.
Like we fell,
At bare minimum.
or someone will be like, "You fell last night." I'm like,
Be
"What?"
like, oh, I wonder what that bruise
Oh,
came
okay,
from.
that's what.
Don't worry,
weird.
we got it on footage.
I do. I have a mild sprain. That makes sense. Okay, this is my last question. for
Okay.
you. Okay. This is more about like the relationship for the couple. So, like, what advice would you give to a couple heading into wedding week? Right. I feel like stress levels are high. What advice would you give to them to kind of get through it without?
Do as much prep work as you can. The avalanche of decor leading up to, like, don't wait until the week of the wedding to be doing that.
Yeah.
Have your bins organized and labeled and all of that kind of stuff, especially if you're depending on your wedding team to be the setup crew as
Yeah.
well. Number one, don't do that. Because we want your friends and family to be able to enjoy the time with you.
Yeah.
In a perfect world. Again, I also realize that is not like hiring someone to specifically do that, or like maybe you love your venue, but it's just not something that they offer.
Yeah.
They just don't do setup and breakdown, and that's
Yeah.
okay. But as much prep work as possible. Don't skip your meals. Hydrate. Get as much good sleep as you can.
Mm-hmm.
Don't try any crazy new beauty hacks the week of the wedding. Like, just tried and true. Keep plugging along. And expect that you are going to be emotionally like this.
Yeah.
Like, it's a emotional week. You're thinking about everybody that you love and every part of your life being in a room together. Like, that's emotional within itself.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, making a commitment to somebody to spend the rest of your life together, like, that's magic. And so all of this stuff, just expect to feel emotional and let yourself feel that, and cry on wedding day. I mean, it makes for great photos, honestly.
Great content.
I always threaten my grooms. I'm like, if you don't cry, I'm bringing her back and sending her back down. You better.
And guys, don't drink too much in the morning. For the love of God.
Yeah. Don't be that guy. Okay.
I've seen too many of those in the last couple of years.
No. Oh,
I think part of it, though, is like everyone's getting married younger.
Yeah.
Like, I know a lot of the younger people aren't drinking as much, but the ones that are.
I happened to be in a venue that was setting up for a wedding, and then I saw the actual bride and groom that was getting married that day, and I saw the venue owner like 3 days later. I was like, were they legally allowed to be married? They were so freaking young. But anyway.
Also, don't forget to delegate, and don't look at the weather every 5 minutes. For the love of God, do not check the weather every 5 minutes.
It's Buffalo,
I promise
guys.
you, if I'm your wedding planner, I'm checking the weather for
Yeah.
you. I know exactly what time it's going to be raining 3 days before the wedding.
Exactly.
Like, don't stress about that stuff.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
You're
This was
welcome.
really fun.
Yes.
And I think a lot of good information.
I wish I had more spicy stories for you, but maybe this wedding season
Next
will
time.
be.
Next time you come back, we'll
You
do
message us when you get some spice.
Yes,
maybe we'll do like a panel next time of like a couple different wedding planners. And we'll do some like after wedding season's over, and we'll do like, all right, what really
I think
went
we
down?
debrief.
I think we need to talk about the years before. I don't know if we should
Yeah.
talk about
Sure.
recent weddings, because brides, if you're listening, you know, we don't want
Yeah.
We'll change names and
you have to blur your
details.
face like we always talk about.
Distort
Bobby.
your voice.
Yeah, exactly. Like on true crime stuff. Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you guys for listening to another episode of Weddings Unfiltered. Be sure to like and subscribe, and we will see you next time.
Cheers.
Good.
Another clap.
I took the ending clap from you. Sorry.
I love it so much. Awesome. I hope we covered
A lot.
what